it's Jenny. It's time to wrap up my reading in December of 2014. This is so late, this video. So I read a total of 6 books during December. A lot thanks to us being on vacation, I think. And I had a lot of reading time when we were away. But before we went, I read this book. It's Witch People, if you translate the title. It's a series of 4 books. This is all 4 books in the series in the same compilation. Here are the 4 books. It's by Jo Salmson. This is a Swedish book. It's for kids between 6 and 9 years of age. It takes place in the Middle Ages, sort of, or even earlier. It's about a girl who finds out that she's a slave in a family, and she also finds out that she's been kidnapped from her own family, so she wants to search for her own family and find them. And it's a very interesting book with feuds, war, and a very strong female character that's very good, I think, for at least girls to read about. Her name is Sun, if you want to translate it. Sol in Swedish. It's this girl. I don't want to talk too much about it because unfortunately you guys can't read about it if you don't know Swedish, that is. I really like this one. I gave it 4 stars, all of these books. By the way, it's illustrated in black and white, so it's a rather easy and quick read. So yeah, 4 stars for Witch People by Jo Salmson. Sounds. Then I read this book by Rachel Renee Russell. It's Dork Diaries. It's the 3rd part, and I need to check the title in English. It's Dork Diaries, Tales from a Not So Talented Pop Star. It's the 3rd part about Nikki Maxwell. In this one there is a talent competition at her school, and she planned on not participating, but because she sort of almost fucked up her dad's job, her scholarship to the private school where she goes is at stake, or rather is about to get withdrawn. So she participates in the talent show and her friends join her, and yeah, you know, it's a very good story. I like this one better than the other 2 parts in this series, because in this one she grows, she develops as a character, and it's not as childish as the other ones, so it's a stronger 3 stars than the other 2 parts before this one. So yeah, I liked it. It's also a quick, easy read because there's not much text on the pages, as you might know. So yeah. Then we have 3 ebooks that I read. No, sorry, 4 ebooks. 3 of them I've started and finished during my vacation, and 1 I started on the vacation and finished when I got home. The first one is the Swedish translation of Maggie Stiefvater's Dream Thieves. It's the, let's say, it's the 2nd part in the Raven Cycle quartet, I think it is supposed to be. This one I don't want to say too much about it because it's, as I said, the 2nd part or 2nd installment. in the quartet. So it continues the story from where the Raven Boys left off, and this one focuses a bit more on Ronan, that character, and his ability. It seems that he can pick up things, dream about things and pick them up and take them with him to the reality. That's the main focus, but you also get to know Blue, Adam and Gainsey more. And yeah, don't know what else I need to say about this one. This installment was, I loved the first one. I gave that 4 stars with the Raven Boys, but this installment, the Dream Thieves, was better. So this one I gave 5 stars. I really recommend this series. I love it and will be following it. Unfortunately, unfortunately I will be reading it in Swedish, so it will take a lot more time before I get the other parts than if I were to read it in English. Then I picked up a children's book, I think it is. I think it's for kids between 6 and 9. Or maybe, no, it's for kids between 9 and 12. It's a Swedish book that don't exist in English. It's also the second installment in a series. The series is called Mr. Sirius, Kip Jansson. This book is called The Mysterious Fangs by Anders Jakobsson. Yeah, the thing I can say, because you can't read it, sorry. It's sort of discusses love in different forms, and that you can love more than one person. You can be in love with more than one person, and yeah, it sort of became a bit too much for a grown-up. As I am, I thought it was a bit too explicit. Not explicit, explanatory, rather. So I only gave it 3 stars, I think, yeah. It was an okay story, but it shows that it's for kids between 9 and 12. The Fangs part in this was that they got in, Kip and his family got a new neighbor, and he only showed up at night. He was very pale. One night, one evening, Kip saw him in the laundry room, and he saw a shadow of him, and he had fangs. So yeah, that's the mystery part of the whole thing, and it gets solved in the end, as usual. Then I picked up the Swedish translation of Jonathan Tropper's One Last Thing Before I Go. Or One More Thing Before I Go. I need to check the title actually. One Last Thing Before I Go is the title of this one, by Jonathan Tropper. It's about Drew Silver, who finds out he's divorced. He lives in a bachelor pad, sort of. He's a retired rock star. He's in his 40s, I don't know if I mentioned that. His daughter comes to him and says, "Hi, I'm pregnant." And he says, "Okay, what do you want to do? I support you, whatever you want to do." She wants to have an abortion, and they go to the abortion clinic, and there somehow Drew gets a stroke, and he gets the news that he has to have an operation or he'll die, probably, with a 99% security of that, probability of dying without the operation. So he runs away from the hospital and you get to follow him during a week or whatever it is, I don't know the period. I read the Book of Joe, I think it's called that in English, by Jonathan Tropper last year or in 2013. I really loved that one. So I had high hopes for this one. Unfortunately they were not met. I didn't like this one. I only gave it 2 stars because I was sort of getting it read and not much more. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't at all what I expected, and yeah, I thought it would be better, one could say. So Dream Thieves, The Mysterious Fangs, and one last thing before I go was the 3 books that I started and finished during the vacation. The next book I started on the vacation, but I didn't finish it until I got home at some point. This is the Swedish original. The book is called The Readers of Broken Wheel, and it's written by Katarina Bivald. This book comes as an English translation on the 18th of June, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the date that Goodreads gave me when I checked it. And I have to say that you got to pick this up. It was a cozy, chicklet or feel-good book that I just loved. I give it 5 stars. So the Readers of Broken Wheel recommend is a story about Sarah, or Sarah, that is. She lives in Stockholm. She's 28 if I'm not mistaken. She's never been traveling outside of the country. She is very secluded. She's a reader, a fanatic reader. She's worked in a bookstore, but that had to foreclose, or close at least. So yeah, she started mailing or exchanging letters with an old woman in Broken Wheel in the US, and she sort of came up with the idea to go over there and visit this woman and talk books, mainly, and she would stay there for 1 or 2 months or 1.5 months, and she did. Unfortunately, when she arrived, the little sweet lady had died. So, but the little village of Broken Wheel took it upon themselves to welcome her and make her part of the village. And she sort of starts a bookstore-ish thingy there, with the books that the old lady owned. And you get to follow her struggles and her thoughts and how she becomes a part of the community, and it's such a sweet story. You just love it, and intertwined in the text, or rather as breaks in the text, you get to read the letters that the old lady sent Sarah. So you get to know her as well, and what she told Sarah about Broken Wheel and the people in that little village. So I just love this story. It was so good. You got to pick it up when it comes in English and read it. I gave it 5 stars. It was one of the best books I read last year, and also it was the last one, so it might be one of the reasons why. It's such a cozy book about books, and I just loved it. So yeah, yay! I've made my video about my December wrap-up. Hallelujah. That was about time. Hope you got some tips, at least of the books that exist or will be published in English. If you know Swedish, pick the other ones up as well. It's a good read. Most of them, at least. Yeah, that's it. Hope you have a great day, people. Bye!